Skip, what have I always told you? When a family member or a friend, someone close to a player, says something, people, be it true or not, people are going to assume it came from said player. When Tom Brady's dad, when his trainer spoke out to New England radio station, everybody assumed, oh, they got that green lit from Tom. That's Tom speaking. Yep. That's just the way it is. So I was always mindful of what my sister, and thank God my sister really doesn't like the public eye. She don't like talking on anything like that. My mom, hey, Mom, because you like to talk. Be quiet. Yep. So for me, Skip, it was the right thing to do if you try to get traded. But here's the thing. What happens when you don't get traded? Skip, it's like you get a divorce. But it hadn't actually gone through, and you don't have an apartment to go to. And you still got to go home and see that same person that you're trying to get. That's going to be a very uncomfortable situation, Skip Bayless. Now, the dad put out an 11-minute clip. Baker Mayfield's wife liked a lot of clips, liked a lot of pictures, social media posts that was defending Baker. How that going to work, Skip? Your dad said this, my wife liking that. I'm supposed to throw you the ball. I'm supposed to run hard for you. Yep. I just don't know. How does it work? I don't know. You might think a lot of things. There are a lot of things, Skip, and I'd be very remiss if I didn't say this, and you covered the game longer than I played it, and you know this. Everybody that's in the locker room don't get along. But for the most part, you can massage it, or you're not, you in meetings, maybe it's an offensive player, defensive player, but you can massage it. But once it becomes public, now somebody's going to have to go. And it probably would have been better if you'd just let Odell go on about his way. Because once this come out, Baker Mayfield has this thought, oh, you put your dad up to that. Odell's thinking, oh, your wife like it? Like in social media posts, huh? It's a bad situation. I can honestly say I've never been around anything like this before. Now, granted, there was no social media, but I don't know if I've ever been around something like this. Well, let me take that back. I have. Because I had a couple of teammates, their girlfriends or wives had a problem with their mouths. And I just went to the guy and said, look here, bro, I ain't got no problem with your significant other, but she needs to keep my name out of her mouth. Okay. Worry about you. Don't worry about me. How did that play itself out? You right, Sharp. You right. I'll address that. Okay. First of all, you pillow talking. So if I ain't got a problem with your wife, I got a problem with you. Because you discussing things that's being talked about in this locker room. That's why she running her mouth. That is correct. You address that, or we're going to have to address you. Boom, I got done. It. So the irony of everything you just said is, my biggest concern when Odell first went to Cleveland was that he and Baker were too close because they used to like to socialize. Right. Baker idolized Odell and his celebrity, and I think Odell got a kick out of Baker because off the field, he's fun. Right. He's a little crazy, and he's had his escapades and episodes where he's had a little too much to drink back in college when he went to Fayetteville, Arkansas once upon a time and nearly got himself killed. Yeah, exactly. Remember this? Okay, so I thought that Baker might be a little too Odell conscious-centric on the field where he would force the ball to Odell, and I believe that happened early. And then, as we always talk about, winning cures everything. If you start to lose, then all of a sudden your relationship starts to sour. It does, and now it might be to the point of do not invite them. It might be to the point where I don't even know if they speak anymore. Right. Because Odell, even the clip, I don't have it at the ready here, but remember when Baker ran for the first down and got knocked out of bounds, and he's got the cracked shoulder and the torn labrum, and he jumped up and he almost runs into Odell, who's just sauntering off the field at that point and tries to step out of the way, and he's got no use for Baker celebrating, and it just looked like terrible body language. Right. Okay, now back to the father. You played, obviously, receiver at a Hall of Fame level. You know and I know that if I had gone back and picked apart the all-22 tape, if I could get the coach's tape of all the routes that Shannon Sharp ran in said game, I'll bet I could find 6 or 8 routes a game where Shannon Sharp thought, I'm open. Yes. Why didn't you throw it to me? Exactly. Well, the reason he didn't is because he was under duress or because you weren't the first read or he thought somebody was a little more open than you or they caught his eye first or 1,000 things can happen in the pocket.
as you go through your progressions that somehow eliminated you from his sight line.
Right. And Skip, I would go back to the huddle. I was like, T, I was open on that one. You missed me on that one. Or Mike would see it on and say, well, you know, you had 84 on said play. And so I would never throw my hand. I did that early on, Skip, as a young player, because I had done that in college.
Okay.
So I just, he pulled me to the side. He said, don't ever do that again. Okay.
Because that position that he's playing is really hard.
Yeah, it's not like he's in the phone booth.
No, guys are trying to kill him.
Exactly, Skip.
They're coming from everywhere, and he's trying to keep his eyes downfield, and it's just hard not to see in the peripherals what's coming after you. 300 pounds over here and 300 coming at you full speed.
Right.
And it's hard, and they screw up and miss wide open receivers.
Yeah, they do.
What did Brady say on the pick six play?
I threw it to the wrong guy.
Mike Evans was open.
Yes.
And so I never saw the exact, I never saw the all 22.
He just picked the wrong side. He picked Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans they was running cross routes. Yep. Mike was going left to right, and Chris Godwin was going right to left, and he just picked the wrong side.
So I never saw tape of just how open Mike Evans looked.
He thought he could have put. He just realized that they got this other guy double covered. I threw to the guy that was double. If I throw it to Mike Evans, he's single coverage. I like my opportunity better than the guy that's playing. Because basically, Skip, what he did the exact same thing in regulation that Carson Wentz did in overtime. He threw it to a guy that was double covered on a crossing route.
Except Carson Wentz was outrageously double. It's like there were two Tennessee Titans who had a better chance of catching the ball than his receiver did.
But what we know about the the Bucs, Skip, when they run the crossing route, he hit that route on Chris Godwin caught that route against the Cowboys. He catches that route, the crossing route. So they sent the safety a little outside. He jumped it.
He did.
He jumped it.
Great play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good thing he wasn't running the post. He started crossing, then go to the post, and now we got a touchdown. But hey, they guessed right.
So one thing I'm not going to do is condemn a father for supporting his son, because there's nothing like the bond, the connection. Right. It can be mother-son, it can be father-son. Yeah. But in this case, father played at LSU, and he was pretty good. So he knows a little bit about what he's talking about. Right. But to your point, what good did it do? Your emotions spilled out onto social media, and it only exacerbated the situation.
If it got him training skill, it'd be perfect.
Perfect.
Because guess what? Baker's no longer in the locker room. Odell is no longer in the locker room. We're not going to have contact anymore. Maybe we bump each other somewhere. If he out in L.A., we go to the ESPYs or something, we bump each other. Skip, we can, hey, man, how you doing? Good job. Stay healthy. Good luck, man. Boom. And we keep it moving. But I'm still in the locker room.
And today is Wednesday, and today it started back again. Your first practice of the week.
Yes.
And you had to interact somehow.
It's very uncomfortable, Skip. It's hard to dislike someone or not have a liking or not have a great relationship. Well, I'm not saying they dislike each other, but not having a great working relationship. We ain't got to be best boys, but if you work with somebody, don't you got to at least have a working relationship with them? Damn.
Yep. Especially when you used to be close.
Yes.
And now it's frayed to the point that it's uncomfortable.
That's why it's hard, Skip, to work with people or be in a position where we're friends, but somebody is the boss of the other or someone can control the other, because if things go sour, that's what happened with Brian Billick and Coach Jim Foster, my former coach, rest his soul. Best friends, hired him as offensive coordinator, ended up firing him. Mm-hmm. It was never the same.
Never the same.
Okay, we were really close. Now I'm not getting the ball. You making me look bad. People think I'm washed up. Your family putting me on blast. How we get that back, Skip?
Okay, so I had concluded before yesterday, more trouble than it's worth right now. Mm-hmm. Just if you can't get a seventh for him, just let him go.
Move on.
Just go on, because it'll clear the decks. You'll have a better chance, and let him have a better chance.
Because here's the thing. You gave the stats that he's the 67th best receiver. Mm-hmm. The 67th best receiver is not going to help you win a championship.
No. It was going nowhere. It's still going nowhere slowly.
So let him go somewhere, get an opportunity to go where let him choose. Somebody might pick him up, pay that last $8 million, or he'll become a free agent, and then he gets to
if they cut him, they'd have to pay it.